Rod couldn't stop laughing. "Look," he said, addressing the onlookers in the coffee shop. "This guy thinks he's a comedian. 100 cars. That's a good one, man." Chase was still pinned to the wall. 100? I bet he can't even buy one, chimed in one of Rod's friends. Chase began to squirm, trying to find a weak spot in Rod's grip. "Oh, he thinks he's tough now too," chuckled Rod, firming up his grip on Chase. Everyone around them started to laugh. Jenny and Mary smiled. As far as they were concerned, Chase had it coming. Someone needed to teach him a lesson, and better that big burly biker than them. Rod looked around the room at the faces cheering him on. Temporarily distracted, he loosened his grip and Chase took the opportunity to break free. He grabbed for the satchel Yolanda was carrying and turned it upside down. Out spilled 100 keys, each emblazoned with the Mercedes-Benz logo. The room fell silent. Were they to believe that Chase was actually the mystery buyer who bought 100 G500 SUVs from the Mercedes-Benz dealership? It was impossible. Rod and his friends stood motionless, their mouths agape and their eyes big as saucers. As for Jenny and Mary, they too felt as if they had been struck by lightning. How was this possible? Yolanda couldn't control her fury any longer. "We came from the office to buy company cars, and I cannot believe the level of disrespect Mr. Rothman has received today. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. We're not going to take this lying down." Jenny was silent, slowly taking in the revelation, wishing for it not to be true. If she accepted it as true, then she would also have to accept that she had thrown out a multi-million-dollar commission. She felt her vision narrow and worried she would faint. Suddenly she leapt from her seat and rushed over to Chase. "Fake!" she screamed, frantically snatching up fallen keys from the floor. "They're all fake. You worthless," she began to throw the keys at Chase. "You can never afford this. You're a liar and a fraud." Yolanda, too, had it. "How dare you accuse Mr. Rothman of lying?" She rushed forward and slapped Jenny, who crumpled to the ground in despair. Jenny began to weep uncontrollably, and then it was Mary's turn to rush into the action. She grabbed for Yolanda, and the two of them began to go at it. The whole coffee shop erupted in pandemonium. From across the street, Matilda saw the events in the coffee shop unfold in what to her felt like slow motion. She saw Rod pin Chase to a wall and watched as the keys tumbled from the bag. Now Chase was trying to pull Yolanda out of a fistfight with a woman that Matilda didn't know. She watched as they bobbed in and out of her sight line. Suddenly it dawned on her that if anything happened to Chase, she was going to lose her sale, and therefore her commission. She ran over to the coffee shop and rushed into the fray while shouting at the baristas to help her settle the room. A few short moments later, Mary and Yolanda were separated and dragged to different corners of the coffee shop, both frazzled and breathing heavily. "Look at you two," Matilda chastised. "Two smart women getting in a fight over the honor of a man. What has this world come to?" Yolanda shouted at Mary from across the room. "Who gave you the right to treat Mr. Rothman so poorly?" To which Mary rebuted. "I didn't realize you were trash just like him." It was clear there would never be a resolution. Both had said their piece. Matilda sighed. She gave them one final scolding before walking up to Chase and handing him a folder of documents. "Mr. Rothman, when you are done here, we have your paperwork ready. We just need your signature." Chase signed the contract right then and there without even looking at it. Jenny looked on in shock. The signature was the final nail in the coffin. Chase was now the proud new owner of 100 G500 SUVs, and she had lost out on the commission of a lifetime. In one final grasp at a better reality, she whimpered, "It can't be. Are you sure he's good for it?" Now it was Matilda's turn to speak up for Chase. Mr. Rothman is from an important family. He paid for the purchase in full, and to say otherwise at this point is just ludicrous. Jenny began to cry again. She really had been a fool. She had lost so much today that it was hard to truly fathom. As she continued to weep on the floor of the coffee shop, a parade of SUVs began to pull into the Mercedes-Benz parking lot, their neat rows of headlights illuminating the street and surrounding stores. It was spectacular to watch. Onlookers have lived nearby the dealership for years and have never seen anything like it. They pulled out their cell phones and whispered to each other. "What's going on? I've never seen so many cars. I just heard someone bought 100 SUVs. They're driving them in from all around the city. 100 cars? Who needs that many?" Chase beamed. "Yolanda," he said, "shall we celebrate? How about at City Grill? In fact, let's get all the Blitztech employees to come down and meet us for dinner." Jenny could do nothing beyond watch what could have been slip between her fingers. Of everyone in the coffee shop watching the situation unfold, Cicely was perhaps the most surprised. She knew Chase. She knew in her bones that he was good for nothing. Chase had never given anything to her sister. Celia was having to work her god-awful job just to pay the hospital bills for their daughter. How could he possibly have the money to buy these cars? Mary, too, was having a hard time taking it all in. She whispered to Jenny, "Jen, did we make a mistake? Is Chase actually wealthy?" Jenny had by now given up. "What else can we believe?" she said to Mary, resigned. "The paperwork is signed. The cars are out on front. He's holding the keys." She began to cry again, thinking about her lost commission. Overhearing the girls, Matilda crouched down to where Jenny had collapsed on the floor and whispered, "Thank you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have signed this deal." Jenny stared at her, dejected. "But I don't understand," Jenny whined back. "Why does he need so many cars?" "Didn't he tell you?" responded Matilda. Mr. Rothman had purchased a company car for each of his employees. She stood up, winked at Jenny, and left the coffee shop to finalize the paperwork. As she went, she thought to herself about what her new millions could buy her.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.